Once you have decided which two images you're going to turn in to be graded, you have to resize and rename those files so that we're not taking up too much space on Canvas. And so this is required for each of the two images that you turn in for a grade. I have two images here opened up, and I want to show you how to do that. All right, so with the file open, you go up to the Image tab, scroll down to Image Size. There you can see the shortcut. If you learn the Alt-Control+1 shortcut, or is that an L? I'm sorry, that's an L. Alt-Control-L. You can see how big of a file you have. This one, if we're looking at the information here, opened in Photoshop, this is a 40 megabit file. The dimensions, the pixel dimension is 3072 by 4008 pixels. So that's the width times the height. And the height. If you think about the next group where it says original size and then it has inches, this is something that is a little bit more easily understood because we can think of a piece of paper or an actual photograph and how big this is. And so this is where I really want you to concentrate your resizing on. And so the requirements that I ask is that the largest dimension be 10 inches. You let the other dimension fall within its proportions. You want it to fall proportionally so that it doesn't squish or stretch the image. So you want to make sure these are always locked together. Okay, so I have an 8x7 8.7 by 13.1 file, and the resolution is 350. So here are the rules. For internet, sharing images on the internet, the standard pixel resolution should be 72 pixels per inch. Right now, we have 350 pixels per inch. The information that is noted in this window is dictated by your camera. Okay, so it's just starting you off. This is how your camera opens the files and shows the pixel information. So many of you will have different information. Your resolution might be set at 300. It might be set at 72. For some reason, mine is set at 350. So it is what it is. This is all malleable information right now. So we can put more pixels within each inch, or we can make less pixels with each inch. Basically, the file resolution is here, but we can manipulate this. We can make the pixels bigger and make the file bigger. We can make the pixels smaller and make the information sharper, and more smooth, detailed, higher quality, basically. But we are sharing these images online. So our desired resolution goal is 72 pixels per inch. And then remember, we want to keep that height restriction at 10 inches. Okay? So this is what you do. If your resample is checked, I want you to uncheck that. If it is already unchecked, obviously leave it alone. But what you'll notice is that this lock now locks in the resolution with the height and width. Okay, so if this is what you're looking at, notice if I change my resolution to 72, watch what happens to my width and height. All right, so now I plugged in, I only wanted 72 pixels per inch, and therefore it made the document very, very large. All right, so when you have all these locked in, this is where we're just manipulating the design and the style of the pixels, right? If I were to change this for the print quality, really we want 300. And so by entering 300, I can see, well, the largest good quality print I can make from this file is a 10 1/4 by 15 1/3, basically. And so that's fine. That's good news. I can print rather large. But remember, we're doing this for the internet. So let's go ahead and make sure that resample is checked when we're doing our resizing. Because now with the resolution separated from the height and width, now if I go into resolution and I put 72, the width and height stays locked in. Now look up here, and what we've done is we've downsampled. We've removed pixels from this file. So it was a 40.5 megabyte file. It is now a 2.3 megabyte file. That is much, much smaller. Now with my requirements, right now the height is still too large. So I'm going to highlight, just by double clicking in the box, the height, and I'm going to plug in 10 and watch what happens to the width. Because those are locked together, my width automatically scales to a smaller size that does not stretch or smush my image. And now it's even gone smaller. Look at this file size. It is now 1,000 kilobyte file, and it was a 40 megabyte file. Now this is appropriate for fast uploading and downloading. It saves space on our server. It also does something that's pretty cool, is it protects your image from being stolen because it's a low res file. Okay, that means low resolution, meaning there are not very many pixels per inch. And if someone tried to download this and print it, you would be able to see the pixel boxes. So it would not be very good quality. All right, so it does a bunch of different things. Saves space, travels quickly, and protects your work. Okay, so once double check everything, you've got the resolution set at 72 and the highest dimension is 10. That it looks good, you click OK. And then Photoshop resizes the image. It makes it smaller because it's showing you a visual clue of what you've just done. You have made a big file smaller. Now, the magnifying glass down here at the bottom is the zoom tool. It defaults to the plus sign. So if you just click on your image a couple times and you're trying to see, oh my gosh, how small is this file? When you click it and make it bigger, you can see that the resolution is fine. I mean, I can see what's in focus. I can see what's in the photograph. It's really not bad. Now, if you click a few more times, you can see that you start to see, the pixels. See how it's starting to break down and you can see the boxes. It's because it's a small file. And for the internet right now, it's perfect though. All right. So the second part of this, I'm just going to zoom back out screen and that will make it, fit on my screen again. I am in the magnifying glass. All right. So I have resized this one. Now what I need to do is save it. So to save the file, the way I am asking, I want you to go to File, Save as Copy. Now, this is a new update, a couple years for Photoshop, and this is where our JPEG option is hidden. And so I'm on a PC right now. The computers in the classroom might be a little bit different. The file name, this is very important. It's the assignment name. So our first assignment after the scavenger hunt is, we'll just start with scavenger hunt. So I'm going to put SC because I'm lazy and I don't want to type out the whole scavenger hunt. Or I could put scav hunt. Then your name, the student's name. You can see all these underneath my thing, all these different people who have submitted this project. So whatever your name is, again, it can be abbreviated. and then an indicator of what the subject matter is so that you can find the image and you know which image you're uploading. So this is a front bumper of an old Ford truck. So I'm just going to put Ford bumper so that I know I'll just remind myself what it is. Now, the file type, the universal JPEG is what I want you to save it as. And if you go to File Save, JPEG may not be an option there. They've changed it and they moved it as a file save they put it under File Save as Copy for whatever reason. Okay, so the file type should be JPEG, please. Okay, and then where is it going? I downloaded these from my Google Drive, and so I'm going to put it on a desktop. And I have a folder kind of already going with some images I call Gens, so I'm going to put it in there. And that's where it's going to go. And I have a sample of what it is, and I click Save. Okay. The next option box that comes up is a JPEG compression box. We have already made the image small, so we can just click OK through that. Okay, we've done that. It's no big deal. And this one is done. Now, because it's still open in Photoshop, it's going to ask you when you close it if you want to save it again, but we've already done that, so you can just click Don't Save. Okay, so now let's do this next file. Okay, I'm going to go through it. I'm not going to talk over it. So if you just follow along. And there you go.